you doing today? Yes, Furby, you see my calendar up here. You know why? It doesn't fit anywhere else in my office. Aldo, hey, let me say hi to everybody. Um, that's it. Wow, we're shy today. Aldo, hi Dallas. How are you doing today, darling? EJM, Faisy, Lynn Marie, and Samwa. How's everybody doing today? Let me just pop this out to pop out, and then I'll bring it back over, and then make sure you're on live chat, not top chat. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing really, ow, my knee. Okay. I'm doing really good. Um, you guys got the tea break today. Hey. I'm home from the hospital. Yay! Aldo, that's awesome. Doris, thank you for becoming a patron. I really appreciate it. It's support, those support at $1 a month at a time that make a huge difference. Okay? Yeah, laugh if you want. $150 may not make a great deal of difference to some people, but it does to me. Every penny counts. This is the year of home economics. Hey, Autumn Gypsy, Sherry Leach. I still have one more book to mail out. Hi, Lori, Sammy. Or are we getting excited about? I gotta go for blood work tomorrow. Getting excited about. Is Steven here yet? Because I'm opening my fan before even checking. Furby, Jean, hi, Lady B, Lori McKenzie, Sammy J, Lena K, Granny Frammy, Jackie Moppet. What a cute name. What a cute name. So yesterday, okay, I'm gonna expound. I'm gonna expand a little bit on yesterday. I was sitting here trying to figure out my year. Okay, that's what January's for. And then all of a sudden, my Facebook Messenger rang, and I don't answer Facebook Messenger unless you're a family like my son or something. But it happened to be a group of my girls, and they were not taking no for an answer when it came to let's get together. We've all been trying to get together over the holidays. It's let's get together, and it's like, no, I don't feel like it. No, I can't. I've already been medicated. Well, I'll come and get you. No, it's okay. It's okay. Well, one thing led to another, and these girls scooped me, and we had a spiritual. It's like I call it a healing circle. Hi, Kara Krantz. How's it going? Mary Peltier, Pamela, Donna. Oh, it's wonderful to see everybody. So we had what we call a healing circle. Now, this is one of those things I'm going to half-ass explain to you, but not explain. Okay. Now, oh yeah, and the reminder about what we're not going to talk about on this live stream, because my New Year's Eve stream, because I did talk about the nasty C word, got dinged. Okay. Censorship is alive and well on YouTube. So anyway, hi, Cooking Corner. Have you made a medicine wheel? Okay, see, this is what I'm going to explain to you. All right. I am not Native. I am not Viking. I am not Scottish. I am not English. I'm not even Canadian. I am who I am, right? So all of the things that people say, well, have you tried a medicine wheel? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? None of it's actually going to work fully for me because I am just me, right? So none of the traditional rules are going to apply. What applies is a hodgepodge of all the spiritual memories and things that feel correct in a healing circle. We don't go by any rules. We go by what is feeling, when we link hearts and we link hands. That feeling is where we start, right? Steven, how are you, my darling? Um, Hi, Marley. Carol McKinney, Corey C, Nighthawk. How's it going, Marley? So anyway, I got scooped. And the reason I got scooped is because the girls were feeling resistance from me joining in. I was pulling farther and farther away from, I call them the committee. The committee are the voices in my head. All right. Not voices like not voices like I'm schizophrenic or anything, but the voices, when you ask yourself something going like, how am I going to do that? And maybe you'll hear your father's voice go, well, if you do this, or the voices in my head, I call them the committee. And until sobriety, the committee was every negative thing I had ever heard. And then yesterday, when the girls phoned me and it all came up all over my phone, all these pictures of all my girls, and I went, oh my God. And they said, what? I said, the committee now has faces. So anyway, yep, the committee, you know what I'm talking about. If you laugh, it's because right? You know what I'm talking about. I finally picked a pattern. Oh, that's wonderful, Kara. That's sweet. I was thinking of you last night, saw the video of the Canadian police. What video of the Canadian police? Please send that to me. But the truth is, they said, you're not getting away. You've been pulling away, and you need a spiritual colon cleansing. But they didn't come right out and say that. Just say we need to get together. So they scooped me, and there I sat in the flesh with the committee. And I took cookies and we had tea. And the whole time the first thing I did was I chose a chair that I would never have normally chose because its back was to the patio door. And I never put my back to a door except this one because I can usually see what's coming in. And you've seen how easily startled I am, right? So, and everything was like, la, 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 we're having a wonderful time. And I was totally not myself. I was quiet. I was observant. And I still wasn't being pulled in. Still wasn't allowing myself to be pulled in. The video of the Canadian police. I need to see that. So anyway, we're all joking and laughing. Well, I actually wasn't because I'm a much quieter person now. The things that I had to outrun in my head for many, many, many years are no longer chasing me. So I'm more quiet. I'm more at peace. But at this point, the girls knew I wasn't at peace in my quiet, right? So I don't know how many hours I was there, but we lit some sage and some other, I smoked some of my medical herb. And the next thing I know, we went from a silly gaggle of girls to a real tight knit healing circle. And I'm going to tell you, in all honesty, I don't remember much of my healing process. But I'm going to tell you, I was like, no, you're not. And the next thing I remember, I've got arms around me, many arms around me, and my face is flooded with tears. And probably a half an hour had passed. What I didn't realize is that my sisters were wrestling with some of the darkness that I have allowed to seep into me over this last year. Okay? So whatever I went through, it was like a colon cleansing for my spirit. And I'm telling you, I slept last night. Oh, I slept like poof. And I'm still, none of the girls are answering the phone. because I want to know what the hell happened. But I was discombobulated. I was all kind of wobbly. I felt like my bones and muscles had turned to jello afterwards. I don't know what the hell went on, but it was big and it was amazing, and it was just the beginning. So when I came I came straight home and did the tea break last night. So now you're getting the rest of the story. Hi, Julie Aston. How's it going? Hey, Vicky. How are you, darling? Donna, hi. It was a live feed I was watching. I will try and email it to you. Facebook will not allow, I'm sure. Well, if I was in the video, great, mail it to me. If I'm not in the video, don't mail it to me. Okay? Why? Because I don't need any more. I don't need to buy in. Okay, for all the spiritual sharing and light and linking of hearts and hands and shining of light and stuff, I had no idea that I was taking on to myself some of the negativity we were trying to get rid of. I was absorbing it to get rid of it for the rest of everybody. I had no idea that I was harboring, sludge in my spirit. So what are you talking about, Bev? Some sort of white witchery? Sounds interesting. Well, see, now that's the kind of thing I want to avoid. All right? White witchery, there is no name. There is no name. I'm not a witch. I'm not Wiccan. I'm not Christian. I'm not pagan. I am not anything other than what the good Lord made me, what I have. And I realize that here it is, folks. You want to hear the big aha moment? Everything we suffer through, we have the genetic code, like physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, we have the genetic codes to fight it off. But because we're being fed garbage from the outside for the last 100 years, we've been getting scrambled so that Annie, hi, Kowalski, how's it going? So we've been getting scrambled by, this is my take on it, okay? You do you. But we've been getting, I understand, but it doesn't sound Catholic. Well, I'm not Catholic either. Part of me, what I am is a culmination, okay, of all the things that other people tried to make me my entire life. Outside forces, whether it's churches or witches or family trees or commercials or TV or movies or books, all of those things that I have been using to educate myself, I've been absorbing it all. But I am not any one of those things. I am the sum total of all the good things. My belief is the sum total of all the good things I have learned in my life. All right? You can't put a name on that, right? Sounds like friendships to me, Bev. Trusting in them brought out what you needed to let go of. Well, yeah. Right? Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure, but my throat was sore afterwards. Pretty sure I did some bellowing. I don't remember. I really don't remember. And I'm pretty sure I will remember when it's safe for me to do so. When my spirit says, okay, you want to see what you let go of? And then I'll remember. It'll be that simple. That's the way I work. But you got to remember, folks, we are not any one thing. Okay? That's like saying a rose is a rose. Well, there's pink roses, there's wild roses, there's tea roses, there's long stem roses, there's thornless roses. You know what I mean? So you can't call a rose but you don't need to give it a name either. I don't know where I'm going. Even Spirituality Cooking Corner has a label. Has a label. So I'm really, this is why when I do the prayer at the end, this is why I try to include absolutely everybody, because I have no one belief. I have what works. And I finally figured out why it hasn't been working. That's all. That's all. Annie Lienhart Kowalski, just a question, okay? What's the question? We are a product from our first parents, Adam and Eve. Good grief. Okay. We also have, if that's what you choose to label it as, you do not have the right to tell me what I am. I am, and I am, and I am. I am me. Nobody else has the right to tell you who you are, what you feel, and how to believe what works for you. That's been the problem all along. Everybody says, well, this works for me, so it must work for you. No, it doesn't work that way. We're all different. Are you live chat or top chat? I'm on live chat, Marley. Exactly. So, hi, Blooming. How are you, darling? So, that is, last night was just the beginning of me doing a cleansing. And I'm going to find that, like Howie's saying, why don't you change the tail light and I'll film you? I did a 360 on a lot of stuff in my life. It's a new year. And 2021 is going to be amazing. Now, it may not be amazing that all our problems are going to end and all these things or whatever, but it's going to be amazing for me because I have now set my feet on a new path. And it is the path to health. It is the path to spiritual centeredness. It is the path to remaining my authentic self and still being, but I'm also now finding that I have a way of putting it. I've always had a way of putting a shield up against the negative, but the problem is when I'm sending out a blessing or a prayer, the shield has to come down, right? So some stuff slips in. I figured out how to shut that door, so I'm going to be okay. You're going to see a lot of changes this year. A lot of changes. They may not seem like big changes to you, but like my garbage can, they're big changes for me. I call it the evolution of acceptance. Acceptance of aging. Acceptance that my body will not do what it could do 10 years ago or even last year. Acceptance, when you accept something doesn't work, all right? Let me keep it real simple. I kept doing the same things I always did, but my body no longer can function the way it used to. So I've had to step on a new square and look at the evolution. I'm now accepting. Up until now, I have not been accepting that I couldn't do what I could do before. All right? I've been fighting it. Well, now I accept that I couldn't do what I could do before, but it doesn't mean I have to stop doing it. It just means I have to find a new way. Right? Because every time I forced myself to continue doing something that was no longer healthy for me to do, like lifting canners and all these things, yeah, I'm going to still do it, but I'm going to find a new way, right? But all these things, I have not let them go to allow the new ideas and evolution ideas to come in. Does that make sense? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Patricia Carson. Happy birthday to you. Here's Johnny. Mwah. Happy birthday, Patricia. Bev, you're making it too complicated. Just have our own beliefs. I'm not making it complicated. It's only complicated if you try and do what I'm doing for me. You do you. That's what I'm saying. Things are shaking up and changing this year for me, and I don't know where it's going, but it's an acceptance thing, right? I'm not complicating it. I'm just sharing what I'm going through. Again, you do you, right? I am the sum total of the learning curve that I've been on my entire life, and it's not going to be a sum total until the day I die. So. Hey, baby. Anyway, so remember I told you I was going to do a video on my garbage can? Well, I'm not going to do just the video on the garbage can. I'm going to tell you the story of why this is a new garbage can, and it's my new favorite thing, and why I got exactly what I wanted for Christmas. My husband and I how to dehydrate foods. Oh, you're welcome, Aaron. Oh, you're welcome, Patricia Carson. Johnny, mwah, I love you. My cancer has changed from my canner. Whoa! My canner has changed from a 22 quart to an 8 quart. Well, I have a smaller canner too. I have one that will just do 7 quarts, and then I have the bigger ones that will do several layers of pints and 3 layers of half pints if I really want to. No, dehydration, Annie, is not the same as freeze dry. It's similar, but what happens is the stuff gets frozen and then the moisture is pulled. If you pull the moisture out of something that is just fresh or blanched, you're pulling all the moisture out, and it's collapsing the fibers and all those things. It collapses, right? But when you freeze dry, the water is solidified. And then the water is, okay, I don't know the science of it, but it gets frozen and then dehydrated, but it's a lot more of a complicated process. It's not the same. Freeze drying, unless I had, like if I was, 25 or 30 or even 40 and I had kids, again, I'd invest in a freeze dryer just because it actually is the best way to dry food and keep all the nutrients. Okay. It's the best way to preserve food. Oh, Dallas. Yarn! 7! All right, Dallas. Hi, Yarn. What are your top 5 favorites to dehydrate? Oh, that's an easy one. Carrots, beans, celery. I'm actually want to do more potatoes. Carrots, beans, celery, peppers, corn. But my top 5, onions, carrot. It's the same. It's the trinity that you put in soups too. Carrots, onions, celery, and I do green beans and leeks. Those are the things I love to dehydrate. But yeah, I love dehydrating. I'm not going to change that. I have thought about getting a freeze dryer, but seriously, it's actually a lot of money, and for that's something that's going to take, and it's really no good to buy the small one. You have to buy the big one. They're like $5,000, right? When I can pay $100 on another dehydrator and just keep things moving, right? If 5 more inches and we got Friday, we got a little bit of snow. So I want a freeze dryer. I could justify it, but it's the initial cost. Well, what you have to do is if you're going to buy the initial cost, you're going to have to look at how much money it's going to save you and whether or not you're going to get your money back out of it before you die, because it's expensive. Um, but having said that, cooking corner, think about your age. Think about how many people are in your family, because having a freeze dryer isn't the only way to do things. It would be an addition to the dehydrator, to the canner. It wouldn't be exclusive, right? So, well, thank you, Annie. Furby sent me that. The yield is not worth it, Stephen. There you go. And that's coming from a guy. That's coming from an urban farmer who sells who farms, raises, sells fresh, canned, and dehydrated stuff, and has orders for more. What is he saying? It's not worth the yield. So there you go. Excuse me. Angela McKay, hi. How's it going? Hi, Joe Mama. Have you tried to dehydrate rutabagas? No. No. But I could. But if I were to dehydrate rutabagas, I would kind of do it like squash. I would cook them and mash them and pulp them and dehydrate. No. I prefer canned rutabagas. Why do I prefer canned rutabagas? Because they're cooked. They're peeled, they're cooked. They just have to be heated up and mashed. When are you going to make a compilation of how does it? I love his videos. There is a playlist. How he's doing there's all kinds of new stuff coming up, folks. I'm going down the basement and making a studio. I'm gonna take over the barn when Howie gets the shop built. I got all companies these things are not gonna happen overnight. Have you ever dehydrated any ham? No. No. The only thing I've ever dehydrated is canned chicken and cooked ground beef. And those are the only things I really feel safe doing, unless you were doing jerky, which is so full of salt. It doesn't matter, really. Lacey Black says at most it would be worth it if you had like 10 kids. But other than that, Fury, Patricia, what are you doing? How are you, honey? Thank you. Thank you so very much. How is Angela? How is Angela, Patricia? How is she doing? It's almost worth it if you had like 10 kids, but other than that, probably I would never even... it's just Howie and I. Now, I can see the wonderfulness of it because it makes meat and that so much more reliably dehydrated and dried. And if we were, say, going to Florida every winter, dehydrated stuff is the way to go for me, right? But we're not there yet, right? I got 2 hams for 75 cents a pound, so I'm going to can them up to have on the shelf. That's a great idea, Joe Mama. That's a great idea. Patricia, how's Angela, sweetheart? I just wanted to say hello. Still not feeling well. Love all of you. Tony DeLuca, how's it going? My niece, who has the C word, is on the other side, and she hasn't had, as far as I know, to go to the hospital. What I've noticed is that there's more fear than common sense when it comes to dealing with it. You know what I mean? Like if you're still at home and you're doing the do things and you're fighting it, like she's 40, you know, she's good. She's all good. Right. So she's feeling better, but it was terrifying for her because A, she had to be alone while she went through it. And B, there's just so much negative press. Not that it's not a negative thing. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Okay, take care, sweetheart. She's not doing well. Oh no, honey, what's going on? Like, is she still is she in the ICU? I had to reread your post. I was thinking canning a hamster. Oh no, canning ham's a really good idea. And you can can whole sections in pint jars, or you can dice it up and can it in a vegetable broth, and that will make the ham will flavor the vegetable broth, and you'll have such great like mac and cheese starters and all kinds of stuff. Making steak and sausage pie for tea tonight. Oh, that sounds lovely. Would be good for meat long term. Yes. Just notified my ex-boss on his way to shovel, plow, and salt front and back area for us in 30 minutes. Oh, that's wonderful. She's in ICU and not doing well. Is she on? Okay, we'll make sure that we add Angie into our prayers. I'm just grateful, honey, that it's not you. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta take my supplements. Gotta take my supplements. It's the CalMag, my Moringa, and my zinc. What is dinner today? I don't know. I asked Howie, do you want minestrone or spaghetti? And he said, whatever your heart desires. So it's probably going to be one of those two. For ham salad, quick meal too. Yeah, true. Yes, please, Patricia, if any messages can go to her, tell her we're praying for her. We're praying for her. Ham needs to be real ham. The processed ham just doesn't turn out nice. It's okay. Not processed ham like sliced ham or, lunch meat ham. We're talking like whole hams. You dice them up and then you cook, you can them. You don't dry can them, okay? I would love to help you on the garden aspect of the yield from gardens this year. Best plants for yield and price point. Okay. Well, let's talk about that. I would so much appreciate the help. Hey, Jan Martin, long time no see. Jeza Enza, we had spaghetti and meatballs last night. That's probably what we're going to have tonight. Is Gracie napping? No, Howie's in the house. And when Howie's in the house, she's all on the couch with Daddy. Gracie, you want a treat? And come and say hi. People are asking for you. Just made a big pot of chicken noodle soup. Hey, Howie. I also have turkey noodle casserole in the freezer. You just decide what you want, sweetheart. Yeah, I don't think our Dollar Trees are open in Ottawa. Like we're on lockdown until Ontario's on lockdown for like a month. We're on lockdown till the 11th. Hello, the baby. Oh, I gotta move that, do I? Come here, little bum. I'm sorry. I'm getting stuck out of your way. All right, come here, see Mom. Come on, the baby. What? Did I wake you up when you was all so snuggly with Daddy? Come here and see your mommy. Come here. That's my baby. You weren't even sleeping with me this morning. Yes, I missed you. Keeping my bum warm. Oh, she's her mommy darling. She's her mommy girl. Gracie's mommy sweetheart, the best in all the world. And your mommy loves her oh so much. Because she's her mommy's sweetheart. She's her mommy's girl. She's her mommy's darling. Howie, does she have water? Her nose is warm and dry. The best in all the world. Yes, my baby. My love. My darling. My precious. All right, I'll get you the treat. And a treat? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay, go see Daddy now. Whoop, there you go. So, yes, she's mommy baby. Edie! I was tickling Evangeline Bev and packing her up. The depression has hit. Oh no, honey. No. Don't get depressed when she leaves. Rejoice that you got to have her. Right? I let you know what kind when it comes. Spin gardening. What's spin gardening? Let's talk about spin gardening. Do you know that term? No, Stephen, talk to me. Talk to me. Tell me what spin gardening's about. You have a huge generator. Well, that's another thing. I want to get a whole like these are things that aren't going to happen overnight, but it's going to take time and money and planning and debt management and all these things for us to be comfortable at retirement. And that means that if we can't go away to somewhere warm in the winter, that my house is going to function if the power goes out in a snowstorm. That Howie doesn't have to go. That's why I got rid of the solar panels. Howie doesn't have to go out on the roof. Howie doesn't have to go dig out a generator and deal with it. You know, what if Howie, God forbid, broke a leg or something and couldn't do those things, right? So these are the things I'm planning for. What's Brunswick stew? Hi, no birds. How's it going? Gracie needs a fan page. I wouldn't know. Okay. Spin gardening is a way to produce your yield in a small garden area. Well, I have raised beds, so does that count? Sitting here with a heated wheatberry pillow on shoulder to get violent cramps in back. Oh, Rennie. So are you going to email me and talk to me? Like, are we going to have a dialogue about this in email, or we can do it through Messenger, like, face-to-face Messenger if you want, Stephen. Rabbit stew. You have lots that spin. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. So I was Catholic, but I got older and figured out I'm not one religion. I'm all of them. That's because we've been turned around. Everybody's been trying, all these religions have been trying to fight for us as, say, subscribers, when in reality, we should all be coming together and celebrating the similarities in our beliefs. Not saying you have to in order to go to heaven or Valhalla or whatever it is. That's just wrong, right? I haven't bred my rabbits this winter because I had to accept my body can't do it this year. Thank you, Paula. I hope your pain is better soon, Rennie. I'm rehearsing here a YouTube video on lovage. I'm here rehearsing a YouTube video on lovage. I hear myself say, let me tell you, folks, in Bev's voice. I'm honored. I'm tickled. That's the most beautiful form of flattery. I'm going to try square foot gardening since it's only me. Okay, Dallas. Sorry I haven't been here. Hi, Janie. I broke 3 ribs. Feel pretty crappy. How the hell did you break 3 ribs? Yeah, absolutely. We'll send. Okay, Stephen. Bev, for example, green beans. Green beans are usually high in yield for the first 2 harvests. After that, the yield gets smaller. What I do after second harvest on my row of beans, I pull the plants. Yeah, but my first harvest is always small. It's the second harvest that's always big. Are you saying pull them up and plant them again? I'm not sure I understand. I hate labels anymore the older I get. Absolutely. God forbid, losing my Dean was so hard. Have to do everything on my own. Absolutely. My dad is still recovering from a fall which banged his head, broke his collarbone, and cracked his ribs. Wow. Uh, what happened, Janie? Like, how did that happen? Week before Christmas. Oh my God. Then you plant something else. Okay, so it's like crop rotation on a quick scale. Okay. I was thinking about that because my garlic is going to get. Oh, Stephen, if you plant garlic in the fall, because I've never had much luck with it, when do you harvest it if you plant it in the fall? I have a question for you. That's the question. Then I plant something else. So this is what I was thinking of when depending on when I pull up the garlic, I was thinking of putting greens, lettuce, spinach, Swiss chard, kale, all the things that will do a rapid growth in midsummer. Is that what you're talking about, Stephen? I would love a class or video explaining all the growing stuff. Oh, wow. Stephen, between Stephen and I'd love to do it, but I'm going to start the year off. Normally I would, last year I did a paper plan out of my garden. This year, how many pages have I got left in this whole calendar? This year I'm going to do the same thing, but like Stephen said, the idea that those 8 beds of garlic are going to have to be pulled up. What am I going to do with them? Started me thinking about newer things I can plant, like kale, spinach, Swiss chard, lettuce. Those things that I can have fresh for the rest of the summer and while I'm harvesting. But if I pull up the beans, what would be the best thing to grow in there? Like corn? Corn loves nitrogen. Beans leave a lot of nitrogen in the soil. So what would I plant after beans? Okay, so I'm getting the idea, Stephen, is what you're saying. Fell flat on my back, right on a knoll of dirt. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Just remember, okay? When you break or crack ribs, it is extremely painful to breathe. They used to strap you, but then the secondary problem becomes pneumonia. So be very, very careful. Do some controlled, deep breathing, even if it's only once or twice, a couple of times a day. You want to keep your lungs clear, okay? Really work on keeping your lungs clear. That is the complication that can happen after broken ribs. You have to pressure can what, Terry? Bev, can I can jalapenos in water, no vinegar, and be safe? You'd have to pressure can them. Yeah, Terry's absolutely right. When I broke my ribs, it hurt to go number 2. Well, yeah, because you think about it. We always think, like, when you picture the inside of your body, you picture lungs that are kind of free floating in there. They're not. These are your ribs, and your lungs are actually kind of inserted in the ribs like this. And when they inflate, but they're attached to the ribs. Okay? So when you break a rib, it hurts to breathe, right? But you have to breathe and breathe deeply or you'll get pneumonia. Why don't you grow garlic? Oh, that's good. You have a nebulizer. Excellent. Okay, Tony. Take care, sweetheart. Mwah. Love you. Well, damn, Stephen. The hell? I'm going to have to look it up now. I don't have my go-to garden guy. The first question I got for him. Okay, maybe the 9th or 10th. He can't answer. Just teasing. Take care, Tony. So yeah. I'm going to be getting off here shortly because I got to go clean my sinks and unload and load my dishwasher. And then I've got to vacuum. And then I'm going to show you the garbage can that Howie almost wore for Christmas one year, and the garbage can that got him big old smoochy kisses this Christmas. No garbage cans, not all garbage cans are created equal. Remember, this is the evolution of acceptance of aging, the evolution of stepping on a new square and seeing how I can still function just in a new, kinder way on my body. Make sense? We found the one thing. Yes, Elizabeth. We found the one thing Stephen doesn't plant. Can I ask why? What y'all suggest to plant in my containers on balcony that's worth it? Oh, that's a good Stephen question. It depends on how big the containers are. Right? It depends on how big the containers are. You can grow, you can do a 5-gallon bucket or bigger with a really nice tomato plant in it. And if you put the cage in and you make sure there's adequate drainage and you've got good container rich organic potting soil, you can get a crap load of tomatoes from one plant in a 5-gallon bucket. Cabbage, carrots, beetroot. Really? Cabbage, carrots, beetroot on a balcony? I just thought I heard Howie phoning me, but garlic is an all-season growth. Okay. Bev, cooking corner here in Calgary. I plant garlic in previous fall and harvest the following fall. Okay. I had no idea. So, garlic, wow, garlic is going to be something that's eaten eight of my beds. Is this why you don't? Indoor sprouts are awesome. I used to sprout too. It all depends on your growing time left in your season for what your needs are. You hate the smell of garlic. Oh, Stephen, we can't cook together. Honestly, darling. Howie, other than salt and pepper, what's my main seasoning? Not weed. Yes, garlic. Weed, he says. Really, you don't taste it. I did Swiss chard, tomatoes, cucumbers, peas, beans, and radish and zucchini. On your balcony? You can do pole beans. This is another thing. Did you see all the beans I got out of the one bed? You can do pole beans. As long as they're going to get sun and you have something to trellis them on. But remember, okay, you remember something. They're going to go all over the place. So I would put them in the center of your balcony so that they don't grow all over your neighbors' balconies, excuse me. Would tomatoes be good on a balcony garden? I just said you can grow tomatoes. I remember when I first moved into Sunshine Homes. It was a townhouse, subsidized housing. I had a 2-bedroom townhouse, and I had a patio. Now the patios were divided. Like I had a patio door and a patio. The patios were divided by privacy fences. But I happened to move in March or April, when they still hadn't. Hi, Pa. Can you hear my crow? How are you? Happy New Year. You're welcome. Can you hear my crow? You want to hear my crow? Hey, Pa. I know I already said that. How you doing? Good. Is winter keeping well with you? Did you hear? Oh. Where are you from, Roberta Lee? Oh, that's actually a better angle, isn't it? I do. Oh no, garlic is a mainstay in my house. Oh, there's Uncle Frank. Totally different one. Totally different. One was the other one was Oh, they come and visit. They don't like. They stay in the tops of the trees, but they circle over and they fly and they yak and they talk and I've had a crow. I've had a couple of crows on this property for years now. Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Oh, wow. Garlic is amazing for your health. Yes, it's absolutely amazing for your health. So, any Sasquatch sightings, Bev? Did you not see the Gracie video? Great. It was a very Gracie Christmas. You got your... Did nobody notice that you got a sneak peek of Briar when he wasn't looking? Okay, Dallas, I love you, sweetheart. Radishes and leaf lettuce on balcony. See, I don't mind radishes, but I didn't grow them very well. So now I have to deal with, well, there's another thing I'm going to do differently this year. That bed that I grew those pumpkins and squash in, I got one spaghetti squash. The rest just didn't have time. And it was a lot of wasted space for one bed. And then it took over all this space in the garden, right? So, oh, my nose is so itchy. So what I'm going to do is, I think I told you this, I'm going to put my pumpkin patch out front. And now, Stephen, I have another question. If I only have an acre, if I grow pumpkin out front, can I grow summer squash in the backyard? Thank you, Sage Spa. No. Arthur does sometimes. Melanie does. Hi, Mel. But Briar, no, my kids don't. It's kind of like watching a family member be an actor, even though I'm not an actor, I'm me. Right? My kids see me differently than you do. I'm just their mom, right? Kale, great for containers, lasts all winter, self-seeds too. Vates kale. Is it a special type of kale? Huh. So, did Stephen go? Stephen, did you leave? As long as the squashes are not from the same family, you can grow them and they will not cross-pollinate, according to my research. Okay, but I had spaghetti squash and I see it in my head. It's like pumpkin, the pink long one with the bulbous end. See, this is where this is where age is catching up with me. But it was a winter squash. It was the butternut. I planted butternut squash and spaghetti squash in the same garden. Big mistake. My spaghetti squash didn't come out in the wonderful strands it was supposed to. And my butternut squash was spongy. Does that make sense? Yeah, butternut. Thank you. Yes. So, as long as the squashes are not from this, I got a kohlrabi outside now growing. Seed said kale. Really? Huh. Do you get a high yield on spaghetti squash? I'd like to try it this year. I wouldn't do any squash unless you have a designated garden for it. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. I didn't get hardly anything, and I wasted a whole bunch of space in my garden. So I'm going to put them out here. Do you know where my chicken coop was? And there's like a little bit of hill going down towards it, and then it goes down to the apple trees. Well, I want to plant something right there, one individual bed full of really rich stuff. And the reason I want to do one individual bed is so that I can water it really regularly, make sure that that spot is really well watered. Did you, well, some things like carrots and stuff, for them, they're biennial, which means they'll go to seed the second year if you leave some in the ground, I think. I don't have a long enough season for butternut squash, but I grew butter bush, which I started late last summer, and got a whole crop of squashes. They're fast growing. What is butter bush, Bella? Can you email me a picture of that? Because I'm pretty sure. Yes, I can. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all my growing squash, like all my winter squash. I may even start them early, but not too early because vines don't like to transplant. I have watermelon. Watermelon and squash can't be planted. Can watermelon and squash be planted in the same place? This is another thing I need to know. Patty pan squash is a little, I'm going to show you. Oh. All right. I'm going to go get my seeds. Woo. Hot in here. Oh. What's that, dear? Okay. It was the TV, not you. All right. We're going to go, we might run a little bit long. Waltham butternut. Huge yield, lasts in kitchen all winter, and save seeds to grow. Okay, this is what my seed box. See, they're already organized, sort of. This is my seed box. Oh my goodness. Oh, I got a piece of tape holding my, here we go. Oh, okay. We're not going to open that too often. All right. Does anybody, all right, these are all my beans. That's beans. Okay. These are, I got kale, sage. Oh, that's a squash. That's a bean. Spinach. Buttercup. I've done well with buttercup squash before. I don't know why, but I've done well with buttercup squash. What I would like to know, can all vining plants be grown up a trellis? Yes. But the thing with squashes and stuff, you have to support them as they grow or they'll pinch off. Make sense? So what I would do is whatever you're growing them in, like make it a wide, like take a piece of 6x6 cow fencing or something, right? You can do that. And then put some pool noodles on stuff so that when your fruit starts to grow, you can rest that vine on something that's not going to cut it off and stop the growth growing to the vine. Does that make sense? Hey, Brigitte! I grew bush, buttercup, and pumpkin in adjacent bed last summer, and they all did well. Okay, so what have I got here? This is things I want to do this year. I want to do parsnips this year, but I got to make sure they can be canned. This is purslane. This grows like a weed. It's a succulent, but it's really good in salads, and it has a lot of vitamins. I'm going to grow some marigolds this year. Why? Because I like to put them in among my beds to keep certain bugs away. Now, chives. I've got chives, spinach, nasturtiums, basil, dill, celery. I don't need all this celery. Celery. And I did give celery away. Celery. Leeks. My leeks didn't do well last year, so I think they're going to do well this year. Kale. I mean, these are all I need to plant. Oh, now I've just disorganized my entire box here. These are my staples. All right. Last year, the leeks didn't do well, so I'm hoping they'll do well this year. My staples in the garden are leeks, celery, and beans. Okay? Leeks, celery, and beans. Carrots, I buy 35-pound bags for $7. Yes, they can, but make sure they're planted away from each other. Okay. Marigolds are big allergen flowers. Really? I always plant marigolds in my garden. Keeps the rabbits and deer away. There you go. So, okay, because I got watermelon seeds here, and one of them seems to be I got watermelon seeds. One's a sugar baby, one's something else, but one doesn't say it's heritage, but it looks like a regular watermelon. It's oblong, and you see seeds in it, and it's got that frosty pink look to it, that original. I crave heritage watermelons. Nothing is juicier, sweeter, icier than a heritage grown watermelon. Steve, I gave half of them away. I filled those cups with seeds, and those are 30-ounce mugs. Is Swiss chard hard to grow? Oh, no. It's Swiss chard. Think of Swiss chard like spinach, only hardier. Okay? And I think I want to put in a bed of spinach this year because I want to blanch and freeze. You know how you buy frozen spinach for spinach dip and stuff? And I will also dehydrate some too. Dehydrated spinach and kale are going to be big on my agenda this year. I want to be an urban farmer, Stephen, but I can't do it anymore. That's why I live vicariously through you. You are living my dream. Hey, Helen, how are you, darling? Love watermelon, but cannot eat it. I'm allergic to it. Oh. I start my melons about 1 to 2 weeks, 2-3 in paper pots, and then tear out the bottom and plant the whole thing. No transplant shock. Look at this. Oh. Whenever I get a cup of tea at the Wakefield Express, I get these cups. I can shut my window now because I'm getting cold. I've had my window open because Howie's got the wood stove going. Ooh, I almost wrecked my window. These are Terra Verde, which means green. Caution hot beverage, 100% compostable. So I've saved these actually for my tomato plants. I don't have to do my tomato plants in them. But the thing is these are compostable. And one of the reasons I plant my tomatoes, like everyone goes, why don't you just plant them in individual things? Because they still have to be transplanted. Okay? When I start my tomatoes in the house, I'm working on some more lights. But when I start my tomatoes in the house, okay, they get tall and thin. Then I start them in a tray, and then I transplant them into something like this. And then I plant them when I transplant them, I plant them all the way up to the first set of leaves so that they're just a little bush sitting here. And then they get big again. And then when they go in the ground, I plant them all the way up to the bottom leaf again. That's why I do tomatoes the way I do. And don't ask me to do it any other way, because I finally found a way to get myself some beefsteak tomatoes and brandywine tomatoes by planting the way I have. So I plan on spinach to dehydrate. Do you have a video on dehydrating spinach? Absolutely. Absolutely, I do. I want to grow more this summer and learn from you, Bev. You are really the best one to learn from. No, I'm not, Brigitte. No, I'm Steven is. If he'd just make videos. But I'm not I'm always learning something new. I'm 56 years old, and it's taken me how long have we lived in Quebec? It's taken me almost 20 years to figure out how to grow tomatoes in Quebec. Because where I used to live was southern Ontario, right down by the lakeshore. And I could start my garden in March. Here, May 24th weekend, minimum, right? Unfortunately, I can't grow spinach. We have short shoulder seasons, and it turns hot too fast. So every time they bolt before I can harvest them. Have you thought of putting them in a shade? I've seen, we had a mobile home in Arizona, and when you have, and in Florida, you see gardens, okay, that have screens over them that cuts the sun in half so that they don't bolt. You can just put like a sheer curtain over your bed, 4 3-foot bamboo poles, and then cover the top with a sheer curtain. Guaranteed they won't bolt. I have a shade yard and my spinach still bolts. I've tried for years. Well, maybe you're not the thing is you don't just necessarily harvest spinach all in one go. You harvest it and continue to let it grow, right? So you're actually growing spinach to hope for a big harvest. When it's one of those things, it's like lettuce. If you just keep cutting it down, it keeps coming back. Please talk to Bev in all caps or she might not see your questions. Thank you. I can't wait for spring. Yeah, January is a really hard month not to start seeds. Yes, but do you know how much we learn from you? Really, you are right there in my home and the best teacher I can ask for. Oh, well, thank you, honey, but don't put me on that pedestal. Maybe it's stressed. Yeah. Yep, have to shade cover here in Florida. There you go. See? Oh, sorry about my hair, guys. I had a shower this morning and it's still damp and maybe I can put it up now. No, it's not ready to be put up yet. I'm thinking of a small greenhouse on my 3-season porch. Well, would be a good place to start your plants. It's the heat index. Okay. Anyway, it's been over an hour, but these are the seeds. And no, I'm not going to have them all. I have parsnips. I have regular beans. I have pole beans. I have tomatoes. I have all kinds of goodies. All right, it's the heat. I'm thinking of letting us... Okay. Anyway, I'm going to get off here now because I'm pooped. But you know what? We're going to... I have time for videos. Exactly, Stephen. Exactly. I would be doing what you do. I would have done it a lot sooner if I hadn't started doing videos. All right? It's like you're only one person, right? That's why I'm trying to get my son, well, not trying, I've sent him the editing software, and I've got to figure out a way because Google Drive just does not work, but we got to figure a way of exchanging video stuff easily, not through YouTube where he has to download it and then re-upload it and all that stuff, but some kind of photo bucket thing where we can send information back and forth, because I need him to start working with the software to play with it, to learn it. It took me 36 hours to make my first video, but it took me a couple of years to really get into the feel of, I mean, Arthur's actually going to have it pretty easy in the sense that I have all my intros and exits ready to go on for him, right? So he doesn't have to design those. He just has to edit, cut and paste, right? So I know I make it sound easy, but it's really not. It takes up, probably 50% of my YouTube time is spent on editing videos, right? Bev, it's the heat index. Spinach will bolt. Okay. All right. Um, what about flash drives? Yeah, but then he lives 4 hours away, and then it's a mail thing, right? Then you're dependent on the mail. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Hi, Rhonda. All right. For all those who care to, please help me close with a spiritual blessing and with a spiritual, with a prayer for all of us and all the people that we're worried about and all the people that we love and care about and all the nasty mother hubbards out there that, just try and bring us down or try and keep inserting negative into our life. Let's just poof them. All right. It spreads like a weed because it is. I got my dishes done. Oh, well, that's wonderful, Mary Jane Weeds. I got to go and do my dishes. And then I'm going to do a garbage can video for you. And it's going to be called All Garbage Cans Are Not Created Equal. The Evolution of Aging. I love the garden conversation today. It helps me through the winter season. Absolutely. And we're going to be talking about gardens a lot. Now I have to decide whether or not I'm going to cover my island in plants in a month's time. Because if I do that, there's not going to be a lot of cooking videos with the Welcome to Beverly's Island. You know what I mean? Try Dropbox for transferring videos with your son. Thank you, RSJ. Does it have a limit? Because I started to send him raw footage. Oh, remember when I said I put the Sam through his paces and I lost the footage? I found it. Yeah, see, I'm not all that technically inclined. So I tried to send all that footage to Arthur through Google Drive, and it said it was going to take 15 hours to upload. So there has to be a better way. Yeah, I am, because the more I'm going to start him, I see a big garden in your future. Are you talking to me, Stephen? Welcome to Beverly's Island. That's my new thing. And whenever there's going to be a cooking or anything to do on the island, it's going to be Welcome to Beverly's Island. Okay, Cooking Corner. So what I want to do is I want to get my son editing my reading video stuff. But he has to learn how the editing software works. And I was a year at it before I was proficient. So, but the sooner he gets proficient at it, where he's producing or editing acceptable videos of the quality that I'm used to, which isn't that great to begin with, then I can start paying him for his work, right? But you need the education first. So, Bev of the Island. Yeah, I love my island too. So I think there's some home economics videos coming out, and between now and February, I may do a whole bunch of island videos and set them aside so that when it comes time to plant, I'm not going to need my island for 6 weeks to 8 weeks. There's going to be 2 months where I'm not going to be able to use my island because, yes, that island also is an awesome place to grow stuff unless I use my dining room table, which is smaller. So happy Sunday. All right. For all those who care to, let's take a nice deep breath. Pardon me. Hey, Chief. Hey, Spirit. It's us. First off, Spirit, I want to thank you for putting me in a safe place with safe people for me to work on cleansing, the beginning of cleansing of my spirit. Thank you for that, God. God, we want to, right off the top, we're going to say we want to pray for Angela. Angela is Patricia Furia's therapist, and she has the dreaded C word, and she is in ICU. So we want to send healing light and love and energy to Angela because she's such an important person. Everybody's important. But because she is within our realm of spiritual reach, we want to send healing energy to her. Okay? To my niece Amanda, who's coming out the other side of it and never had to leave her home. Okay, sorry about that, folks. How much of the prayer did you actually see? Because the phone dropped the connection. So I don't know where we left off, but let us link hearts and link hands and shine and push back that darkness and always keep the hope of spring coming in our hearts every day. All right? This is the Mrs. Wolfe from Our Half Acre Homestead and Life with the Wolfes saying it's our time to shine. Take care. God bless.